shut those off as we could, and then PG&E, as they responded, fixed any leaks to the main lines in town, so those are all repaired and up and running, and now their focus is on repairing the residential gas lines. Our water system is intact and operational and was never breached, and no contamination, so water is good to go. And right now we are in a mode to where we're still answering emergency calls, and as it slows down we will transition into other life-saving measures if needed. And currently the hospital is sheltered in place, and as a precautionary measure because of the structure until they get it looked at. Anything further on that, I would direct you to the hospital for those questions. Injuries reported, nothing but minor injuries and such as cuts and bruises, as the grace of God. So other than that, I will turn it over to the fire chief. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief McLaughlin. As I did not mention it before, what we'll do is we'll just go one at a time through each representative, and we'll hold our questions till the end. Afterwards, we'll handle some of the questions, and then we'll be available for individual breakouts as well. Let us now go ahead and give our attention to Kern County Fire Department Battalion Chief D. Mitchell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Denisio Mitchell, Kern County Fire Battalion Chief. I'm in Unified Command with Ridgecrest Police Department Chief. The Crest incident, almost immediately following the earthquake, we started to receive a numerous amount of calls for utilities issues, and then also we had a confirmed working structure fire at that point. We started a response initially quickly towards the desert area, as we did start to receive multiple calls at that point. Around that time, our command staff also had already started setting up the EOC again and started getting resources set up to respond. We do have a lot of mutual aid being put in together right now to come out here. It's not just us, but initially Battalion 7 resources were pulled out to the desert to address those issues that we had. First one being that structure fire with multiple reports of gas leaks, smells of gas in the area, and electrical issues. Following that knockdown of fire, we had a second report of a working structure fire and cut resources loose to address that as well. During those operations, we simultaneously had aerial recon done in the city of Ridgecrest. Helicopter 407 provided that along with Air 1 from the Sheriff's Office. They did not report any significant structural damage from the air, but that's from the air. As soon as we start getting ahead of the calls with hazardous conditions and utilities and life safety issues we may have, we'll start transitioning to doing an organized search of the city grid, looking for structural damage, stuff of that nature. We do have our USARs and rescue task force in place for that kind of need, along with mutual aid that's being sent this way. Currently, we have the city broken up into 2 branches, and we're breaking out the city into the north and the south branch and addressing issues from that nature. At this point, we're starting to catch up with the hazardous condition calls and the in abundance of calls to 911. So we'll start transitioning at that point to the organized search and assessing for structural damage. On top of that, the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, is open, so we are in command with our OES personnel and also our command staff from the county side.
Just want to say, first of all, I owe thanks to the Navy base for allowing us access there today, and also to the city for their support here, Mayor, Chief of Police. We had just had briefings as we came out of the field today, we being myself and Janice Hernandez from the California Geological Survey. With support from the California Highway Patrol, we were able to do aerial reconnaissance of what we call the surface fault rupture. When an earthquake happens, our sensor network picks that up, and of course we automatically locate and get that information out to everybody immediately. We also then follow that up, and then larger earthquakes like the 6.4 and now the 7.1, we also look for fault surface rupture. This is how we confirm which fault the earthquake occurred on. So we'll see a pattern of aftershocks and we'll have a hunch about which fault that's on, but until we get eyes on it, that's when we confirm. So today we were out by air and also on the ground looking for surface fault rupture on a previously mapped fault. We did find fault surface rupture both out of the base on Highway 178 where you had seen images from last night, and then also that rupture continues from that point on Highway 178. It also continues to the northeast and to the southwest. This is a somewhat atypical type of earthquake in Southern California. We've seen these before though. These are on what we call cross faults. So these are faults that are against the grain of the main San Andreas fault system. So the San Andreas fault is running from northwest to southeast through the state like a big diagonal cut. And then against it, perpendicular to it, are this other set of faults in some places, and we call those cross faults. So what's typical is to have your bigger earthquakes on the faults that are oriented like the San Andreas fault, that are moving right laterally. What's less typical is a cross fault rupture that's left lateral. So when the 6.4 occurred, that rupture was on a cross fault as well as a portion of the main fault, and now the 7.1 is on the main fault. We've seen that main shock.
So the 7.1 is on the main fault of the San Andreas fault line.
So we know rupture went toward the northwest. It also went toward
The
the
7.1 is on the main line of the San Andreas fault line.
Fault surface rupture.
It is
farther to
on the
east
main
on
line of the
178.
San Andreas
So
fault
we
line.
know that that
right
fault
there.
broke where we're seeing the aftershocks along it. Tomorrow we're hoping to get in the air again to do reconnaissance and look for surface faulting associated with the new main shock, the 7.1.
He just said the 7.1 is on the fault line of San Andreas fault line. It's on the
Thank
main
you very
line.
much, Mr. Hudnut. Now we would like to turn our attention to the City of Ridgecrest Mayor Breeden.
Time to get out of California.
Thank you all for coming. I
No
would like
sense in
to
waiting
say a few
around just to
words
die.
our own citizens. Many of them have known to most of them, and many of them are sleeping outside tonight. I know that it is a difficult situation, but they're fearful to be in their homes, and we are offering any services. As noted earlier, we have places for people to shelter here, but many are choosing to just be with their neighbors, both in their sidewalks, in their driveways, and some of them are in the streets. We're asking everyone to drive safely, be careful, watch for these people, and understand that we are doing the very best we can. It is not an
How are we gonna
impossible
pass
task to take care of all this, but it is going to be a longer task.
We're gonna pass
than
there even if we have to
thought the
jump
other
over
day.
the crack.
So I thank you all for coming. I appreciate
I
the
don't know why you're
consideration that
recording
you're
it.
going to give
People
to
are
the
watching
citizens
the
of our
news.
community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Breeden. We also have with us today Kern County 1st District Supervisor Mick Gleason, who will be able to speak with us as well.
Thanks. Thank you all for being here. Special thanks to the first responders, all of them that have performed so brilliantly in the past day or two. It's been a phenomenal.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Watch these guys
Subscribe,
work
guys.
together,
Subscribe.
work together,
Here's
and
the thing.